everybody, Powerhouse WRX here, and we have the Subi mascot. Make sure you follow her as well. Tonight we're doing an install on some parts here for the headlights, the headlight modification. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and introduce you to the team here. We have Yaskel, Kevin, and Rudy. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. We'll put everybody in the description. So make sure you check them out, follow them as well. We're taking these stock WRX headlights, and we are going to be swapping them out with a painted interior lenses, right? And then we will also be adding some demon eyes, the Morimoto XBT Bluetooth controller, resealing it with a retro rubber, and also we have the sea light upgrades from Subi Speed, and then some also Profile Performance halos. So stay tuned and we'll be right back with the actual install. So here's the housing that we're going to be putting the halos onto. What I did first is go ahead and kind of position it on where I'm right about where I wanted to mount it. And as you see, on the halos, there's these little eyelets here where you're going to put some fishing line through or wire, depending on which one you want to use, to mount it to the light itself, right? You could use glue, but with the heat of the lights and just sitting outside and everything else like that, there is a chance over time that the glue will fail on you and the things will start sagging, and you really don't want to be the guy at the show with the sagging halos, right? So we're going to be using fishing line today to do this. So after I mark this off, we're going to be using a 1/16 drill bit to drill some pilot holes on the sides here and on the inside where we can feed the lines into and then tie it off in the back. So hopefully this has been nicely painted with a little bit of blue and gold flakes. Hopefully I don't screw this up. If I do, you're going to hear a grown man crying in the background, and it's not going to be me. All right, so let's see what happens. Crack down here. Come here. It's all. Now that we got the pilot holes drilled on the housing, we're just going to take some thin fishing line, run it through the holes and tie it off on the back, and that's it for the mounts. So here's the halos mounted to the housing. Now, one thing to note, we started with the clear fishing line. I don't know if it's just not the right weight on the line or something, but it was just too flimsy for this application. So instead we switched over to wire, very thin wire. You could get it off of like a picture hanger, right, on the back of that. So here it is, installed in, all 3 points, ready to go for wiring. So next up, sea lights, and then from there, putting everything together and getting it on the car. step on this as the guys are over there assembling the light and putting everything together for the sea lights and the halos and trying to seal everything up. Real quick on the bumper side of things, bumper removal is really easy, right?
Bumper side of things.
Yeah, bumper side, I think that's cool. So what you have on top here with this trim piece, right? You have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, 3 pop clips. Remove those, trim piece comes right off. Underneath the bumper, what you'll have is you'll have some more pop clips. You'll have 1 here, 2 over here, 3 along this side, and again 2 and 1 on that side. Once you have those pop clips removed, all you have to do is just come to the side here with the bumper, gently pull, and there he goes. It just frees up. And then on the other side, do the same thing, pull. Pops out. And there you go, bumpers off. Now, one thing, don't try to yank it off, right? Because all your lights, your fog lights, your turn signals are all connected. So go ahead and remove those. Once you have those removed, you can move the bumper out of the way to do whatever else you need to do. All right, to remove the headlights, this is also a very simple task to do. You have a pop clip up here. You have 1 screw here, 1 screw here. And then what you have to do here is also take this bracket off here, okay? So you have 1 screw, and I believe these are 12 millimeters, right? So these 2 right here, and on this side, you got 2 more right here, plus another pop clip. Once you remove this, and you remove this up here, the headlight housing comes right out, unplug it, and ready to go and fit for the new lights. We have the headlight housing off of the car. To remove the lens from the housing, what you have here is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 screws here to remove. Once you remove these, the top tabs, all you're going to do is push them open, and you should, without heat, be able to pull the lens off of the housing. Now, just in case we need heat, the heat gun's ready to go. But I've done this one before without any heat, so let's see what happens. You have the lens removed from the housing. To get the reflectors off of here, you have 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3 here. Once you remove those, the silver comes right out. So real quick. Lifts right out, and now your lens is ready for the new housing. Guys, so we have one last project before we seal up the headlights with the lens, and that is to install the Profile Performance Demon Eyes. Nice little kit. You got your mounting bracket and the LED board for the Demon Eyes. So how we want to do this is we are going to remove the projector lens, and that's held in by these 3 screws right here. On the back, that would be this, this, and that. This one had a little black cover on it. Just pop the cover off, and then you should be good to go. What's up, everybody? As you can see, the lights are back on the car right now. We sealed everything up with the Morimoto retro rubber. Pretty easy to use. It suggests that you use it with you know, your preheated oven and so on and so forth, but all we did is we heated it up with a heat gun, pressed it together, got all the clips in, and screwed it all together and put it back on. So it was actually a pretty easy job to do. So as you can see, we're trying to get everything wired together. You kind of see this gaggle of wires here. It is a hot mess when you start doing this. Primarily because with each of your LEDs, the halos, the demon eyes, and the sea lights, you have these drivers that's going to power each one of them, right? So like this one right here is for your sea light. This one is for your angel eyes, and then this one right here for the demon eyes. Once you get everything put in the car, it is literally a plug and play setup. However, you are going to be limited on where you put your controllers and so on because of just the length of the wires. Very simply put, if you wanted your sea lights and angel eyes to function as a turn signal, the orange on both of these drivers connect into your factory turn signal harness. You could either tap it in, or you could just they do sell different harness adapters out there that you could use to just plug and play. And then each one of these drivers will also have a black ground. All you have to do is find a ground to it, and then that's it. So the mad scientist here is going to wire everything up to the XBT controller, and hopefully we should have this thing going relatively shortly. We'll be back with the final results. All right, guys, so here is the finished product. You got the sea lights in, you have the demon eyes also in there too. It's kind of hard to see because of the light, but halos are also in too. So everything is squared up, good to go. Shrouds back on, bumpers back on. The only issue that we have is with this sea light for Morimoto. Seems like part of the board might be damaged. So we're gonna get with them and try to figure out what's wrong with it. But other than that, it looks good. Everything looks good, everything lined up, and we are back to get everything done. So from here, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Boy Yeskel, boy whatever his name is, the baby face. This is Powerhouse WRX and Forge Projects. Thanks for watching.